All right. Well, welcome everybody, and thanks for spending a Friday morning with the Technology and Calculator Subcommittee. I don't know that anybody on the subcommittee needs any introduction, but do we have any members of the public that are on the call to staff? If so, I'll have everybody introduce themselves.
No members of the public.
All right, great. Well, let's move along then. Of course, our last meeting of the subcommittee was quite some time ago, and the good news is there's been no reason for us to meet since October 22nd of 2025. But Lazaro, if you'll just review the rules of the meeting for us and how we're going to conduct business today, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Of course. Good morning. I'm Lazaro Quintanilla. I'm the program coordinator for the Georgia Child Support Commission. I'll briefly discuss a few rules to help us navigate the meeting via Zoom. The Technology and Calculator Subcommittee members and staff are designated as panelists within Zoom and can speak at any time during this meeting. All other participants are designated as attendees and are muted during the meeting, but may type a message in the Zoom chat. The Child Support Commission does not hear public comments during any of its subcommittee meetings. Accordingly, we will not be accepting public comments today. However, you may leave a written comment for the Commission at any time through the Commission's website. For your convenience, I will put the website in the Zoom chat momentarily. Also, anyone wishing to give public comment by speaking may do so at any full Child Support Commission meeting, the next of which will be announced on the Child Support Commission's website. In conclusion of today's meeting, staff will post the recording on our YouTube channel, of which I will also place the link for it in the chat momentarily. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lazaro. And Joanna, if you'll check me on this, I think we might have a quorum of our members established.
All right. We're 3 out of 5.
Great. Well, while we still have 3 out of 5 as we progress, I'll ask about the meeting minutes. The meeting minutes from our last meeting back in October were distributed to everybody prior to the meeting for review. I'll ask at this time if anyone has any corrections, questions about those meeting minutes.
No.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move to accept the minutes.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded to accept the meeting minutes. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. All right, the meeting minutes are approved, and we'll move now to old business with just a recap of where we are and where we have been on the archiving of old user worksheets.
Thank you. I will step in for Kurt on this. The recommendation to archive all child support worksheets older than 5 years was presented to the full commission on October 24th, 2025 and was approved. The AOC IT team is currently working with Amazon Web Services to have this completed. AOC staff will post bulletins on the calculator website and send mass emails to notify calculator users of the change when appropriate. And that's what I've got for that.
Does any subcommittee member have any questions for staff about that? I will ask what the timeline is on that, if anyone knows.
Colton.
Yeah.
Is on. Yeah, Colton, could you please answer that for us? Thank you.
Yeah, we're working on that. The timeline, we are planning to deliver that by, we have our next updates for the calculator probably next month. So pretty quick turnaround. That's what we promised is the deliverable is in July.
And does that coincide with being completed before the next full commission meeting?
Yes, that is what we are delivering on. Yep.
Awesome. Great. Well, that moves us then to our new business, which I know everybody who geeks out about things like this, all things child support, is anxiously awaiting this staff-led parenting time tool demonstration. So y'all can proceed when you are ready.
Thank you, Regina. Colton, do you know if there could be a block to buy access to the staging website since we're not in the office?
You should, is your twin gate on? You should be allowed if you have twin gate.
Okay. Well, this works. Please bear with me, everyone. It is working. Thank you for your patience. Share. And share. Okay. So, can everyone see my screen?
I can see it. It's a little tiny, but I can see it.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Let's see if I can make it a little bigger. Is that a little better?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Course. So this is the parenting time calendar tool. Colton and his team were working hard on this, and thankfully we have something that we can show you all today. Before we go through it, I will say that this is not, we were hoping to have you all vote for this to propose it to the full commission, but unfortunately, or not so unfortunately, we did receive some feedback from Johanna Keel, and she pointed out a lot of useful things that we can make changes throughout this page. So once those are implemented, we will send an email out to everyone to please review the website and we'll most likely hold an e-vote. But we have a few instructions about the calendar tool at the very top. This will look a little different. These instructions will be in a list and not just in a text soon. This starting date and pattern date start was something we talked about with Johanna Keel about eliminating one. So I'm pretty sure we're eliminating the starting date, so it's not confusing. And we have parent one, parent two here. These tabs, it's meant to mimic the Minnesota tool as much as possible. And I will just go do a quick little example. Frequency, so on August 10th, every other, let's just say, Monday, Thursday, Friday. 10, populate. So here is if it was every other week, Monday through Thursday, for the non-custodial parent, there's these tools here. The pattern tools can help you quickly select many dates. And I think the most helpful thing is being able to then assign the rest of the days to the other parent. So I'm not a practitioner, so I don't know what the best way to do this, but in my mind, I feel like assigning the non-custodial parent days, it's probably the easiest thing to do, and then clicking the assign the rest of the days to the custodial parent. And so the blue is the non-custodial parent. In this case, the blue is the non-custodial parent, and purple was assigned to the CP automatically. And we can see at the bottom of this page, the average of 2 years, the actual number that you would put into the calculator is this 105.5. I feel like the tool is pretty straightforward, but if anyone has any questions or would like to try anything, please let me know.
Well, Lazaro, I know that the practitioners practicing now on the subcommittee may have some good questions for you, but mine is really just stylistically speaking, speaking as someone from Athens, Georgia, so many years of my life. Are these colors, are you able to change them to like red and black or what you want and customize your color scheme or what?
I believe there's some regulations around like accessibility, like visible accessibility. So I don't know if these colors were chosen specifically for that. Colton, do you know?
Uh, we weren't intending for people to be able to change their own colors, so it would be across, everybody's own dashboard. But we do have to keep accessibility in mind. So we will take feedback if you do want the colors changed, if you feel something else. But that is something that we did keep in mind when we were creating this. So.
Well, we'll let the full commission argue about that. But when you say accessibility, you're talking about the new federal ADA accessibility rules for websites and things like that. That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, correct. We're trying to make sure that, now and going forward, that we don't have any issue with those ADA things. So.
All right. I know Jackie, Anna, whoever else is on the call there that I may not be able to see because I'm virtual. Matthew, I see you now. Y'all probably have questions because you've been working with this tool, I imagine, or some not this tool, but some reasonable facsimile of this tool.
So I guess the main question that I have in looking at this is in the drop down menu, could I see the overnights, like the options? So you can put it in one day at a time in order to do that. So that, yes.
You
Okay.
can do like every you change it, because I was messing with that too. So it's
Right.
CP, we can do every like Sunday and then go populate, and we'll change all the Sundays.
Right.
Leave everything easy.
And so how do you enter in the holiday time on top of the regular parenting time?
From what I understand, the holidays is supposed to be truly done like by hand, and we have a little red dot along all the holidays, so it's like New Year's Day, you can switch it here. I think those are the ones you have to like take a fine tooth comb and really decide for yourself, because I don't think there's not a drop down menu. Is that something that you feel like should be incorporated, like the option to select your specific holidays?
It would be great. The unfortunate thing is the different school calendars. At least that's where I could see an issue being there.
Yeah.
Is the the total date at the bottom going to auto-populate into the worksheet?
No, so good question. The parenting time tool is actually not a part of the worksheet at all. So you don't have to actually log into the website, into your account to use the parenting time calendar tool. It's it's going to be one of these tabs up at the top of the website, and it's going to be this far right one. And so you would have to go down, see what that number is, take it, and then plug it in yourself.
So just mechanically, just let's use Labor Day because it's coming up. You won't have to hunt around, and it's right up here by the words. So what do you do there? You just click on it till it turns from purple to blue, or whoever you want it to be, or what do you do there?
So we can unselect it, and we can go to, if we want to make it for the custodial parent, we'd click on our custodial parent tab first, and then we'd assign that date to them. If you wanted to assign it to the other parent, you'd make sure you click on the non-custodial parent tab first up here. And once it's blank, then you can go back and change it to that option.
And again, these are overnight.
Yes, these are overnight. So it'll only, to clarify that, you can unselect it and select it again, and it will change to the color of the tab of the parent that you're under.
And is this tool as it exists that we're looking at available? This is not available. It's just modeled on Minnesota. Minnesota and some of the others are what we have on the website now, correct?
Yes, correct. This is not on the official website. This is the staging website, or the sandbox that IT uses to make changes to our main website.
Well, so here is sort of my thought about approving or not approving this particular tool. I know, speaking for me, and I don't want to speak for the practitioners, but they may want an opportunity to play around with this a little bit and just see how it works and maybe make some suggestions. So is there some problem with giving the subcommittee members access to the sandbox for a couple of weeks here, and maybe a couple other commission members, Lazaro, like Katie Cannell, who's been living and breathing this parenting time deviation for 6 years now. Is there some benefit? And well, I think there is a benefit, but is there a mechanism by which we can do what we do here at the agency frequently, and that is give intensive users access to the sandbox to help the developers?
Yeah, of course. And so we have done that. I will not say that we sent it out to all these subcommittee members. I don't know that that's true. But I know some commission members have received it. I believe Katie Connell has received it.
Okay.
Joanna Keel, who's a super user with the Family Law Center, she used it, and she's actually the one that provided many, many good points. So we will be implementing some of that, and that's where I was saying, like, this 1 and 2 year tab, that's very confusing. So we're just getting rid of this 1 year option. Again, this start date and pattern date, there's 2 different things that are the same thing. We're getting rid of one of those. What was the other one, Joanna? There's a main thing.
So you're keeping the 2-year option?
Yes, we're keeping the 2 year option and deleting the 1 year option because it
Okay.
just creates confusion.
Okay. I like being able to put in a starting date personally.
Yes.
I think that's helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, we are keeping the one of these like starting date pattern start date things. They're the same thing. They function to do the same thing, and for whatever reason, there's 2, so we're deleting 1. So we will
I
keep
see.
that.
I
We'll be
see.
adding also a comment box so that if anyone, like if mediators or different parties are talking to each other, you can write out what the parenting plan is and not like have to deduce it by looking at the entire calendar. So that's another feature that we're going to add.
An undo button.
We're also gonna have an undo button, yeah, because there's currently no way, like if you make a drastic change to the pattern tool and it was by accident like this, there's no way to undo that. There's no go back button. So
Yeah,
we are
that's
gonna
a
have
problem.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
people don't accidentally do something and then they're stuck having to click through everything and redoing it. So yeah, we did get the calendar tool out into people's hands to get feedback, and that's some of the feedback we got back. But Regina, we can send it out again to we can make sure that everyone in the subcommittee today gets access to this tool moving forward. So if anyone wants to provide more feedback, we have access to that.
Yeah, if you are asking for a vote where we're not all together, which is what I'm hearing, that y'all got some more tweaks to do, some more work to
Yes.
do, and you may wish to take a vote by email on this before the next commission meeting, please send out the sandbox option to all the subcommittee members. I would say 2 weeks in advance of any vote that we're going to be asked to take, okay?
And I think
Absolutely.
I went back and looked at my email, and it was sent out to, it looks like all of us on July the 15th. So,
And just, this is showing my ignorance on this. Even though it was sent a while back, when you click on it, it's going to give access to the current version, not the version that y'all were working on when that link was sent. Is that right?
That email should be so that link should be this link, and this is just like a live link where Colton can theoretically make a change right now in front of us, and
Okay.
we'd see that. So it should be constantly updating and shouldn't be like stuck in time for that version of the website. And Colton, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, there are some access controls that we have on the staging site, but I believe that if you've had access to it before, you should still be whitelisted to visit this site. As long as it's the staging.csc online calculator, you should be able to visit that. And if you need to have access or need to be whitelisted, reach out to Lazaro, and then we will get you guys whitelisted for whoever you need to send this out to. So
Lazaro, if y'all could just resend the link, just so it's at the top of everybody's inbox. I know, Judge Davis gets a lot of emails. He's busy.
Yeah.
Everybody's busy. So just resend it again so that everybody's got the link. Nobody has to go looking through email for it. And everybody will be prepared to take a vote, okay?
Absolutely, you had it.
I'm gonna email to just check my whitelisting. I was having a problem accessing it, and I know that I emailed with Kurt on it, so I'll check on that.
Okay.
I agree. I wish that we could add some holiday stuff too. I think that would be great. I just think that, some of the issues with the school calendars might make it a little hard.
Okay,
And I mean, it would be, I mean, if you've got to go in and change the holidays manually anyway, this is just me talking, okay? To me, it would be helpful if it were a different color, if the holidays were a different color, but that's just me talking. So maybe it makes no sense for them because then if it's a holiday, a different color, then it's got to be a different for the custodial and the non-custodial. And then you've got 4 different colors on the thing. So I'm probably an outlier there, but I do think it's going to be hard for litigants to see some of this stuff, but maybe not. Maybe not. We'll be hopeful. And look, it won't be locked in stone, right? We'll be able to come back later if we start getting a bunch of complaints and make those changes. So
that is
When
correct.
this prints, just a quick question on when you go to like a print version of this, so with the Minnesota, it was kind of difficult to do as like the color you had to back up and it would just do this like bold and underline thing. Is that kind of how it's going to look if you were to print it?
Yeah, correct,
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
This is it, and we will actually have a printed one out. That's actually probably a good test for us because sometimes things print out weirdly, and I don't know. This looks like
Yeah.
that might be happening here. So
Yeah.
that's something that we still have to look into. But yes, generally it'll look like what the website looks like. Doesn't format it any differently. It just kind of takes the website as it is and prints out the pages.
Is it possible to save these I mean, I know that this is currently a separate tab, but eventually could it be possible to save these to clients we're working on to go with the worksheets?
Um,
That
I-
might be a long ask, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, I will say that our internal conversations where we did want to keep the calendar tool separate from the worksheet, only because then the implication, well, it won't even really be an implication. It will be quite literally you're filing the calendar tool pattern with the court, which is what we don't want. We
Right.
don't want it to be treated like the worksheet. We want it to be treated just as a simple tool that people have the option to use.
Mhm. Okay.
but I think that my again, technology question that may be a dumb question. Do you have the ability to print this? Like if you wanted to save it and email it to a client, when you've got it up and you've done your work and it's in final form, what does it look like to be able to, what I do every day, create a PDF from a Word document, from a Word document or something like that. Is that what happens here?
Yeah, this print option functions as a save option as well. So you click print and the destination is where you'll pick your printer, or you can save it as a PDF. And then once this will save locally to your device, you can find it once you attach it through email to save
But
it
what
to-
happens when you press save for me and let's see what we're saving.
Of course. Download it.
So wait a second. So it's saving it's saving more than the calendar, meaning it's saving all the instructions or just the calendar?
I believe it is saving the entire page, so instructions included. And I will pull up the actual save file here so we can all see what it looks like.
We are open to feedback on this as well as far as the print goes. I know it's right now it seems like a simple solution, just prints the page, but I was talking with my team and talking about some other options that we can have for print so that we don't have the instructions or that it just prints it as like a calendar view.
I mean, y'all tell me, what do you think, subcommittee members? But if you're in a hearing and you're trying to persuade a judge to do something on paper and you're trying to give them a visual, don't you need the ability just to print the calendar as an exhibit and not all these instructions, or not?
It's cleaner to have it as just the calendar. With just the total of days at the bottom, is nice and easy in my experience.
Could there be a button that had like add holidays? Because I see how you couldn't just put in the days, or you need to put in like date to date. But if if there were a pop-up and you could put in MLK or Labor Day and put this date to this date, a column for one parent and a column for the other parent to like overlay those dates on top, because otherwise, I mean, it's going to take a long time to
forever.
go in and manually switch. But if you could just put in this date to this date, like in a whole form, and then have that go on top, I think that might save a lot of time. But I don't know how hard that would be to do that. But this,
Immediately, Anna, and you can correct me along the way. What I see you describing might look like having an additional pattern drop down menu like this, kind of listing all the holidays, and then you have the option to do every other, MLK or every other Christmas, things like that. Is that kind of what you're trying to say would make it easier specifically for the holidays?
if there were just like sort of a one thing that came up where I could list, 10 things like Christmas, even year, and just put in the actual dates, I think is the only way that you're going to not add days that from the other schedule, that the parent already has assigned to them. But, you know, any,
So Lazaro, what Anna's saying, just from a practitioner standpoint, is where you've got here select a frequency, you would keep that frequency. That would say holiday schedule. It would have a list of all the holidays, and then you would need a pattern start date, but also a pattern end date to do that, because everybody, all the litigants define their holidays that they're rotating differently. It might be 3 days before Christmas, or to 3 days after the day after Christmas, to the 26th or the 27th or that kind of thing. So that's what Anna's talking about. It actually would require, I think, for like what you've got here, your pattern start date wouldn't disappear in terms of in the row here, but you would need a pattern end date as well, unless I'm missing something.
well,
Okay.
I think it would only work and not disrupt just the regular custodial time that's allocated to each day. The only way that would work is if we could put in an actual calendar date, like month, day, year, for when it started and when it ended. Like I could take that calendar and take my holiday list and say, you know, MLK dad this day to this day, Christmas this date to this date. But there's so much fluctuation between what holiday schedule looks like from case to case, that I think the only way it would work with this would be to be able to put in an actual calendar date for each thing and then shift it on top of what's already in here now.
All right.
Yeah, so what I understand, I think I understand it more clearly now, is like you said MLK, what does it usually fall on? Like the 17th or something like that?
It's the third Monday in
But you want to be
January.
able to say, not just that day, but maybe the day before and the day after, also part of that MLK holiday. You want to get to
Correct.
those specific dates. Okay.
Yes.
We'll we'll take note and we'll have a conversation internally and with Colton to see how we can best figure that out.
And designating those holidays, or designating out the first half of Christmas break, second half of Christmas break. That way you could manually put in those dates. Actually, doing it with those radio fields is a great idea on how to, for practitioners, on how to do that, because we're always looking at school calendars, looking at these dates, putting it in. And that is the part where we're unclicking, clicking every single day.
Yeah.
The other part of that is also, on our worksheets, we have that cheat sheet that's got the every other week for the summer, being able to switch out and say summer. If there's a spot where we can say, well, for this part of the year from June to August, we're doing week on, week off,
Right.
would be helpful too.
Yeah, like those 2 weeks in the summer, that 1 month in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That
And
makes
if it
sense.
would be helpful, like for me to pull a schedule and like have a Zoom, Colton, like to explain to you, like this is what it looks like and I'd be happy to do that. Just
Yeah,
Okay.
I can provide my email after this meeting if you would like to have it and give more feedback on this.
okay.
Cool. And Regina, I know you were talking about what does the print version look like? This is what the print version will literally look like. So it does have those instructions you were talking about at the top.
Yeah, I
Um,
think like Colton was talking about, what we need is when it prints, it needs to just print the calendar view
Okay.
only.
So all this text gone
Mhm.
and start from like here. Or start maybe just
Well, yeah,
dates and
yeah.
then
And if you've got if the non-custodial parent is the purple, I mean the blue, and the custodial parent is the purple, then that needs to be noted somewhere. Because that's the other thing about this color coding, right? I mean, you don't have a,
legend. Yeah, other
whatever you
than
call that.
it's subtle, but yeah, it's only this.
Oh, I see there. Okay.
But it's very subtle, Regina. So I get making it more clear that which parent is which. Okay.
But then also when you do the calendar view and print to calendar view, legend, if that's what you called it, will need to be there.
Yeah.
So who's who?
Also a black white version.
Yep. This is excellent feedback. Yep. So we are working on a print, kind of a different view for that print. So
All right. Well, good work, guys.
Could you make
Do
the
y'all-
shape a different, like if one is a square and one is a circle, that might help also,
Okay.
like on the calendar dates.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people printing this who are pro se like don't have the ink to print the color thing.
Right.
So
Yeah.
So Anna, which parent are you saying is square? I mean,
probably the custodial parent.
Okay. Does anyone else have any more questions about the calendar tool itself or any more feedback? I know we are gonna send that email out again so everyone gets to actually be more hands-on with it, but if there's anything for the purposes of this meeting that would like to be said?
No, I think it's from my perspective. Anybody else?
No.
All good, guys. Well, we appreciate the work, and I'm just going to sort of see how we do playing around with this, and we'll see if everybody feels comfortable taking a vote without another meeting. If not, we will have another meeting to review it one last time. And the next commission meeting, again, the full commission meeting to staff is September.
September, let's see here, let me check my calendar.
See what we're working toward here.
Yeah, 1 second here.
It's October, right? Or maybe it hasn't been set.
I don't think we've set it.
Oh, I'm thinking of statute.
Yeah, we set our statute review subcommittee meeting.
Okay.
I believe we left off setting the next commission meeting closer to when Jane gets back to us about when she
Yes.
has that report for the economic study done, and we haven't heard anything from Jane, so we're taking that as she's hard at work and she'll get to us when that report's ready.
All right. Well, it looks to me like we've got a couple of months to work on this. So that sounds like we will be able to land the plane for the full commission with no problem.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Anybody else have anything for the good of the order? Thank y'all very much. We will stand adjourned, and everybody have a good weekend.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Take care,
you.
everyone.